Hello and welcome to Matt's Rocks. Today I'm going to finish up some stuff that I needed to get done, and I've got some, still got all the, I've only polished two pieces of one of each of these picture Jasper slabs. I've got a, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 pieces, 6, 7 pieces. Yeah, I got 7 pieces of this left that I've been sitting over there beside where I keep my saw cabinet, where I put my water saw in. And I figured I would check. The first two I polished, I did on the flat lap, and I want to check and see if the other, or see if I can do them on this just from the 280 down. I don't even know if I'll need to do the 280, but I do have some scratches or some kerf marks in there. They're not real deep, so it probably won't take but a second to get them off of there. And well, I do have a little bit of a tag end on this one, but that ain't gonna take but a second to get off either. But I want to keep them flat. I don't think I can make cabs out of these. I want to find out if I can get a good enough polish on them. That's the reason why I only did the sample slabs on the first two. I should have got those out already. Matter of fact, I think I'll pause the video here and get them out. That way I can show you what the polish looks like on them. And it'll give me a better advantage too on getting started to find out what's going to be better. So I can see how much better it's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot better. Okay, I think I may have been a little mistaken. That's not a bad shine on there, on this one. It does have some pits in it, pitting to it. Maybe I can smooth that out. I'm not really sure. I don't know what. Well, I'm looking on my glasses again. Maybe you can see the pits. This one's got pits in this one are a lot bigger and deeper. But I think this one, they didn't seem like they had a whole lot of, this one also has a bunch of fractures too that I couldn't fix, that were softer material in the fracture where it had almost healed, or maybe not. I don't know. It looked like maybe some other kind of inclusions in there. I think I still will make them. But what I liked about this one was the Johnny 5 head there in the center. You can see the 2 eyes and the darker brown around the outside. That's about the shape of Johnny 5 on the movie, with the little robot with the guy that played on Cocoon, I think, was the scientist in charge of him. But it's got, I'm going to leave this, definitely going to leave this one the way it is. But with these patterns, let me show you some of the other ones that haven't been done yet. There's 7 of them here. This one's an end piece, but there's not really, and I think I'll just do it as a sample and just polish the one side on it, because this is the other end piece for the other one, which is the opposite side of the Johnny 5. It's like a Johnny 5 with some extra stuff up on top. I don't know what those would be, but the 2 eyes, maybe he's got a nose and a mouth now. I don't know. I think that centerpiece is probably just a stain from something, maybe. I don't know, because it's been sitting on that table for a little while. But then here's the back side of it. But none of this stuff I can really cut up and make any decent sized patterns. This is the first one I showed you. That's the first one I'm going to polish. And here's another piece of the other one. And it's got so many fractures in it too, I don't want to try to cut it up either, so I'm just going to make it a sample also. These ones look like they should polish up pretty good. This is the other end piece for that. For this rock, this is the outside edge of it. And but I'm not going to polish it, I don't think. I think I'll just leave it like it is too. On the outside, on the weathered side. So they can't really cut these up for any decent looking patterns. It's not a picture Jasper, but as much as it is just a, I think it may even be volcanic tuff or volcanic ash is why it looks like that and has the colors in it. I'm thinking that's what it is. It's some kind of siltstone type of stuff. I don't think it's actual Jasper, but it's hard as Jasper, as you can see by some of the, if you look and see the, if I can get them to show up, it's kind of fairly shiny just from the cut. And you can see some of the spots like right there underneath my finger where it was almost a polish type shine on it, you know, and that's just from the saw when I was cutting it. I haven't done anything else to these, but I'm going to go ahead and start them on the 280 grit, and we'll go from there, see what we got. Last time I used this, I think this one was on just a touch, and this 1200 was on just a touch when I shut everything down. And I was in here the other night before last, I think it was, or last night. No, it was night before last, because it was the night it was Thursday night. I had a heck of a time getting uploading my video, and I was sitting here, and I had turned on the upper light so I could, one of the lights for some other reason, extra light. Normally I just have one light on in the back corner, and because that's easier to see the TV. I don't have it all reflecting off all the lights reflecting off TV. But I saw water down here by the door. No, I went to go out to get me water out of the fridge in the garage side. And when I opened the door, there's a puddle of water going out the door a little ways. It was only about this wide, you know, and only about this long, but I looked over and my wastewater tank was completely full. So I come over and pause the TV, and I could hear my pump in my freshwater tank going. It didn't have anything, it didn't have any water to pull up. So I finally got that filled up. Or I shouldn't say finally. I waited, I didn't fill it up yesterday, but I did today. So always remember to shut your water off on your machines. And I had filled mine up but didn't empty that all the way. That's why it was running over. Or I should say I'd filled up the fresh water and didn't empty the other. I meant to do it before I started the next batch, but I didn't get to it. I didn't remember it on time. still a lot softer than any other Jasper I've ever worked. That's what makes me think it's tough, or volcanic ash. You can also see that the water's soaking into it also. So it takes it quite a while to dry out. Care how rounded off that corner is. It's a sample. I didn't round it off any at all anyway, or not much. But I got the scratch out. The pits are all still there. Let me dry this whole thing off because I think I'm done with it. I think that's as good as I'm going to get because of that first side I worked and worked and worked. And it got where I couldn't tell the difference at all, good or bad. There's the side I'm talking about. That's the first side, and you can probably see all the pits in it. I'm not going to be able to get rid of those, but that's not a bad shine. I should have done both sides of this before I did that, before I switched cameras. Well, this way I only have to do it once. Well, I should say I won't have to do it. I'm still going to have to do it twice. I'm talking about switching cameras in the editing process. So what I do is just swap out the video section, not the audio, as long as my mics are still on and working right, and there's no difference in the volume of the two. I don't really need to replace the. Usually what I do is make sure I got the. I didn't show the other side of this to this camera. Usually what I try to do is pick the one that has the best audio, if there's any difference. If there's not, I don't worry about it too much. I'll switch back and forth as to which one I put the overdub the video onto. If that's got that one, I'm going to call that one good. I don't know why I've still got this on and the water on. But I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these off camera and then just come back and show you what they look like rather than trying to sort through as many thumbnails as I'd have to. If I filmed every one of these, I'd have to sort through a bunch of thumbnails in order to get, because I don't want to show, if I'm doing it that way, I don't want to show the same stone each time in between showing you the finished stone or finished piece. This way I'll just show you all the finished pieces all at one time. So I'll be back when I get that done. Okay, I'm back. I got all these done. I'm going to show you the first one I started on, which was the end piece. It didn't take a bad shine, but it's still, you can tell it's got a lot of pits in it. Let's go to this other one. Let me readjust my light over here behind. So you see it's still got all kinds of pits in it. At least I hope you can see that anyway. This is also the end piece, so I didn't do anything on this one, but I could not for the life of me bring myself to do that to the other ones, or to the other end. This is the other end. It was going to be really thick as it was, and this is the way it's going to sit, but I've made it with the bottom level so that you could set it up on a table. Definitely not going to sit there on my finger, but and I didn't get it. I got these polished. These were a little bit easier to polish, or I shouldn't say easier. They took a polish better. This rock here than the red one. I like this one better. The red one was pretty broke up too in places. There's the first one I just did as a, and this is the second one I did, I think, and I just did it as a sample also. I didn't round the sides or anything. The other one's a sample. It will stand up. On its own. And then this is the fourth piece. Oh, I didn't show, wait a minute. I never did show this one over here with both of these lights on it. This is the one I got the Johnny 5 out of. And that just kind of looks like it, but his eyes are a little wonky, and he's got an antenna or a horn growing on his top of his head, and he's got a mouth down here now. All of a sudden, this is the first one that I did out of there that I made. Let me turn it up right side up. This is the one I did. I did this one and. This piece here on the red one right after I cut it. I'll show you that one again here in a minute. But there's Johnny 5 on that side. This side didn't really have anything in it but the oval. And that's the last one of this rock. Let me put this other. These are all going to be samples. None of these are going to be cabs. This is the first one I did. That you've seen it before, but I figured I'd show it to you while I got them all here. This is like the second cab I got out of this red one, or maybe the next to the last. I don't remember. Yeah, it might have been the next to the last. No, it was the last. It was. Yeah, it was the next to the last. This one was the last. This is the end piece that I was just going to leave this part on, but I decided I would go ahead and work it and make it into what could be considered as, you could make a cab out of that if you wanted to wire wrap it, but it is a little heavy, so I don't know that anybody will want to make a cab out of it, but it will make a nice sample. Nice worry stone if you want, you know, something you can mess around with and rub on, and you know, I'm sure all of you have heard of worry stones. This one's got too many fractures in it. I think I'm going to bust this one up on the fractures and just tumble the pieces. You can see all those fractures in there. Now this one, this was the other end piece. And I made it as a sample. Well, they're all going to be samples, all of them. But this had this fracture coming through here. And then this, you can see the chips out of this one, out of this fracture that comes down through here. This one went over to the other side a little bit. It's up in here on this side. But I went on ahead and stabilized those with CA glue on those fractures and then repolished it. You can see the fracture on this one a little better. I've got the other one zoomed in just so that I could show it better that way. But this end fracture here, and then this line coming down the center of that, that's also a fracture. It's more pits, but I figured just in case it connected up to this one, if this one ever broke off, it might break up into that one and make it where it won't stand up either. I had something on it. This table tilts that direction, I do believe. It'll stand up, but it just doesn't want to on this table unless it's turning this way. But we poured the concrete now on this floor, so I can't verify that it's actually level all the way across. But anyway, that's the second. That wasn't an end piece, but it was pretty close to an end piece. And then, like I said, this is the one I did the first time. This is going to be a pain to edit just because of the way I'm doing it. I should have done it one rock at a time on each camera and then just put both sets of footage in there. This is what I did the first. This is the first one I did after I cut it, and it's got more fractures on it. I may go ahead and go back and stabilize it. So you can see there's a fracture that comes down this way, and then another one that comes across where that other one's at, up through there. And the little one that goes through the center comes clear up to the top through there. But I think that was also the fill line because of that two stalactite looking areas of the red inclusion, or the red Jasper, whatever it is, or if siltstone or what have you. No, this is one I did this time. That's not the first one. This was the first one. This is the first one I did when I started doing these stones. But it's also got a fracture here and here. But it's also got two heel fractures. You can see the lines going across that dark line and that darker little semi-dark line above it. Those are healed fractures. I don't know what they healed with, but they're, whatever it is, they're shiny because I didn't stabilize this one. It's also got the fill line coming in from the top. That's the one I was talking about, I believe. I was just on a different side of it. And it transferred to pits on this side. There's a couple of pits here, but, well, I shouldn't say transferred. There's just a little bit of this one here. And then this is also moved from where it was over here. So I'm thinking it comes all the way down through to the bottom. That's why I was afraid. I did this one before I did the other ones, and that's what made me worry. But I didn't stabilize this one either. But I don't think it's going to go anywhere, and it's also made where you can stand it up. I made all of these others, except for this one. I made all three of these red ones or all three of the other red ones that I polished where they would stand up. So what I got is four finished samples from each one of those rocks, and one that's got to be gonna go to the, I never did show this on the other camera. I don't know. If I missed one of these, I'm sure you'll see it, but I may not be able to match it up on this camera, on the one that's not zoomed in, because I think I've been neglecting this camera. Let me just show all of them at one time again, just for the heck of it. Just to be sure. And try to keep the lights off of it so you can actually see the rock. This one didn't have a very good pattern on the flat side, so that's why I went ahead. It had some fractures on the top side. You can see there's still a little bit of one here, but it doesn't go very deep. It doesn't go all the way through. And there was a healed one coming across on the flat side too. But I just thought this side looked better than the other side. That's why I stopped where I was at, rather than losing all of that, because it was only going to get thinner by the time I got down to where it was a lot thinner than that. So it was going to be moving out to the edge. That red was going to be moving out to the edge further. And that's why I did that one that way. And then here's the very first one that I did with the fractures in it. I'm not really that enthused about this Jasper. It doesn't take the polish that I want. I'm more interested in making jewelry than samples. But when you get a dud that you can't make jewelry out of, well, I should say I'm more interested in making cabs for jewelry, because right now I don't think I can do I know I can't do the wire tie. My fingers aren't dexterous enough, and then I've got that short one too. But I could buy the stuff that you need for silversmithing that has clamps and stuff that you could use to hold stuff too. That would help with wire tying also, but I don't know that I've got the dexterity for that either. Plus I've got kind of shaky hands. So, but anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. I like making these videos because I'm trying to help. I'm hoping I'm helping some people that want to try to get into it, to know what to look for and what not to look for, that type of stuff. But I also want to put out good content, because that's about all I watch anymore is YouTube. I'm getting tired of the stuff on TV. There's a few shows on Discovery and all that I watch, but other than that, I don't really watch a whole lot of TV. And America's Funniest Home Video type things. Ridiculousness, that type of stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, leave a tip, tricks, anything, comments of some kind. But you guys take care and have a good day.